So we think making almond milk in a juicer is a little bit easier than the traditional way in a blender because you avoid filtering it with a cheesecloth. Now juicers come in vertical and horizontal forms. This is a horizontal. Making almond milk in a vertical juicer is a one-step process. It's pretty simple because it's got a mixing chamber. Making almond milk in a horizontal juicer like this is a three-step process, but it's still pretty easy. So let me talk about the 3 steps. First of all, you need almond pulp. So the first step will be taking these almonds here and crushing them into a pulp. The second step is mixing that pulp with water and any add-on ingredients like vanilla or cinnamon that you might want. And the final step is actually juicing that mixture into almond milk. So let's go to step 1. So the first step is to process the almonds. Make sure to use raw almonds, not roasted, salted almonds. And make sure to soak the almonds at least 8 hours, preferably overnight. That will make them much easier to process. They will absorb some of the water. It will just make the almond milk that much creamier and easier to make. Also, this technique can be used on any horizontal juicer as long as it has a blank screen, also called a homogenizing screen. Let me show you what that looks like. It's just a solid piece here. This comes with the Sauna Supreme and with different models of horizontal juicers as well. So what I'll need to do is take out the juicing screen, which is inside. This is the fine screen. We'll use this later. And I'll put in this homogenizing screen. And then all I need to do is process the almonds. I'll just run them through here. It's kind of handy that the Supreme here has this nice bowl. A lot of horizontal juicers just have a smaller feeding tube, so that'll make it easier to feed. And I will start it on speed 2. Always start things a little bit slower. Then once it gets going, you can speed it up to speed 3 or even 4. So the next step is to mix this almond pulp with water. Notice some of it mixed a bit already. I didn't fully drain the almonds, so you can see right here there's just a bit of almost almond cream there. Now how much water you put in is really up to you. It just depends how creamy and thick you like the almond milk. Typically I go with a 2-to-1 ratio of water to almonds. I've seen people go as low as 1-to-1. That makes a real thick creamy milk, and up to 3-to-1, which makes a thinner milk, but of course you get more of it. I like to do a lower ratio, and then if it's too thick, you can always add water later. You can also at this time add things like vanilla, cinnamon, even a bit of maple syrup if you want, just if you want to change the flavor. Almond milk's pretty versatile. So I'll just pour the water in and stir it all up. And you want to give it some time to soak, at least a few minutes, for the water to really absorb all that, the small bits of almond. So I'll just stir it real nicely. I'll let it soak for a few minutes. And at that point, I'm going to put in this juicing screen for the final step. So this is soaked for about 10 minutes. It's thickened up really nicely. It looks a bit like oatmeal now as the water absorbs all that almond pulp. Now what I've done between shots, I took out the blank screen, which was used just to crush all the almonds together, and I put in the fine juicing screen. That's the juicing screen with the little tiny holes. You can also use the coarse juicing screen, the one with bigger holes. The fine screen just gives you a little smoother texture. And I've got the pulp container to catch the pulp. I've got the Sauna Bohemian crystal glass here, and if you want even finer texture, I could put the strainer on there, but I like to have some little tiny bits in the almond milk personally. Also, need to make sure you open this juice cap just so the almond milk will go into the glass. All right, I'll start it up on speed 2 and start feeding it through. All right, I still have a lot more almond milk to make because I mixed a lot here. Make sure to close this juice cap. And one thing I want to show you is this pulp here. It's really dry, really powdery. The texture is just really cool here. I don't know if you can see that. And you don't want to throw that out. You can use this for things like cakes, cookies. We mix it in with bread often when we make almond milk. And it just adds a nice consistency and flavor. I'll put that to the side. And you can see here, this is a big glass. It's a ½ liter. That's a lot of almond milk. I'll just try it out here. Should be pretty thick. Yeah, there's nothing like fresh almond milk, especially pressed cold like that, slowly. And that should do it. Like I said, if you want, you can add things to this, vanilla, cinnamon, maple syrup, things like that. But it's fine as is. Almonds are naturally sweet. And that's the 3 steps. Again, process the almonds into pulp, mix it with water, run it through the juicer using the juicing screen. Hope you liked this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. If you have any ideas for videos, we're always open to hear them. Please write that below too. I'm going to enjoy this almond milk. I'm Dan with EUJUICERS.COM, and I'll see you next time.